So I'm here with Julian Nahan, who is the Julian. What are you on this project? Tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of where your role fits in this project.
Well, I play the role of the integrated project leader, but as well one of the project managers.
Okay.
So my job primarily is to help the team implement the integrated process, understand what that is, train and support it along the way.
And tell us a little bit about the project, kind of the background of it, and just maybe a little bit about your project team.
Yeah, the project has been in the company beginning with design for several years now, about 4 years. And we were awarded construction of it in summer of 2014. And that's when we got both the design and construction contracts. So we were integrated quite early in the project at SD. And negotiated a contract as well, very early in the SD stage as well. And broke ground in October of 2014 and have been building ever since. It's a 22-story office tower with 7 levels of parking garage and 14 of office space above.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit about the project team and just being an integrated job. What does that kind of look like as a difference between a traditional job that maybe a lot of people at Beck have been a part of before?
Well, we have a great team. I think we all feel very fortunate. I certainly do. And that is through a combination of what I think is both intentionality on the office here to devote the right resources, especially from our design studio, but also just good fortune of getting a group of people together that want to work together, understand the value of collaboration, and contributing in a different way than what we do traditionally. That is breaking down conventional roles of design and construction and really just working towards meeting best end result and doing what's necessary to get there.
And how do you feel like this team has maybe been different from other teams that you've worked with in the past, just as far as team dynamics and level of skill and just different kind of team dynamics that play into that?
Sure. Well, part of it is good fortune, as I mentioned. It's getting a group of people with the right attitudes, quite frankly. We all have a group of very intelligent, competent people, but without the right attitudes, that still isn't enough. So in combination with those competencies and having the desire to work together has really made this team special.
What do you feel like some of the challenges your team's faced, just as you guys have worked on this project now for a little over a year and kind of gotten to know each other really well? And
well, part of the challenge is what this project means for the office in this region. It's a marquee project and really one to put us on the map. There's a lot of eyes on it and there's just a lot of attention put to the project. So having that pressure to deliver and that the end product really meets the commitment of our client, certainly, but also puts us on the map in terms of our design abilities in this office.
And how do you feel like being a high-profile job in Denver, what do you feel like the design challenges have been that your team's faced? Really just kind of either from the beginning of the project, even throughout the CA process that you guys have seen?
Yeah. Well, early on, the design team was faced with the challenge of this very small site, of which the developer wanted to use all of. And we were lot line to lot line, which posed challenges from the design perspective to make sure that we stayed within our entitlement lines. And then certainly that challenge continued as we moved into construction. In building this building and delivering it, one of the most challenging aspects has been logistics and moving material and men through the building efficiently. And it's taken a lot of thought and planning. We've implemented several lean practices to facilitate just-in-time delivery and the tight planning process.
The question I have for you is, you've been a part of other Beck projects before in the past. Being a high-profile job in this office, how does this job compare to other projects that you've worked on that maybe weren't integrated, that were maybe just a third party, either design or construction?
Well, I think there is a good comparison to make between what this job is doing with the integrated process versus other jobs that I've been a part of and experienced with. And primarily that is the dedication from the studio here to provide the resources needed to make the integrated process work. And that is the time and the man hours necessary to develop a set of documents to be complete and buildable and coordinated. You know, in very straightforward terms, what that requires is more time from our design staff. It's a considerable amount of work, and it's a standard of care that's higher than what's delivered traditionally. And this studio made the commitment to dedicate the people that we need, the right people, and the right amount of their time to get this document set to be one that is very coordinated and very buildable.
Well, I have some personal questions, just some fun, kind of get to know you. What what's your favorite food? Like, what go-to place for lunch, or either favorite thing that you cook at home?
Well, you know what's become my favorite food is my wife is Sri Lankan, and she makes Sri Lankan food.
Nice.
It's fantastic, different, it's delicious. Everyone we bring over to the house who tries it really likes it.
Nice.
It's pretty fun to do.
All right, so nickname.
One time I got a little angry.
Hey, the professor.
One time I got a little angry, and actually let me back up. I didn't get angry. I got frustrated. I came into the office, and we have this key that we hide in this fake plant out in front of our office, and the key got misplaced, or I thought it got misplaced. And I was the first one in the office to find the key, open the door, and I was the first one in that morning. Hadn't yet had my coffee, and the key was lost. And I was convinced it was in the pot. The pot is filled with this paper and this fake grass, and I ripped it all out. Took the tree out of the pot. Finally found the key, and I didn't put everything back. So when people came back to the office, they saw the plant got destroyed. I got a nickname for.
And what was the nickname?
The nickname's Hank.
Hank.
And from me, myself, and Irene.
Okay. Oh, nice. What would be the biggest piece of advice you'd give someone who's just coming out of school, they just started, whether it's a piece of technical advice or personal advice? What you've been in the industry now for quite some time.
10 years.
10 years. And what would you tell just someone new coming out?
I would give them advice, the advice that I certainly feel was learned in the first part of my career, and now that I've had time to reflect and think about what the first part of my career involved. And that is the first couple of years out of school are continued education. You've learned some good fundamentals throughout college or whatever your previous experience may be, but you really don't know how to implement them in an effective way until, at least for me, it was 3 to 4 years into the industry. And that's really when you begin understanding these inefficiencies that we encounter and we hear about, why they exist. And it's important to understand why something works in an efficient way before you can really go in and impact it in a beneficial way to make it more efficient. So there's some advice to take stock in those 3 years and really pay attention to what you come across and the experiences you have, but then also to have some patience.
Patience is not easy.
I may be speaking to someone who has struggled with that in the beginning of his career.
Maybe a little bit.
And there's patience, but there's a reward at the end. If you truly are able to find some efficiencies, even incremental ones, across our process, the gains are considerable, and it's worth exercising some amount of dedication to that goal, because there really is a considerable reward at the end of it.
All right, so back to personal questions. Biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve in general? I've pretty big pet peeve about people not keeping the office clean.
Ooh.
And superintendents not keeping the job site clean.
What about pet peeve at home? Personal pet peeve, not related to work.
Grant, I'm surprisingly easygoing. I don't know how many things really get to me. I'm kind of a little back-footed on this one. Sure, it's going to have something to do with my wife.
All right. Well, we'll leave it for that.
Yeah.
What about favorite beer? Colorado, all sorts of beers. to choose
Stella.
from? Stella.
Yeah.
Not even from Colorado.
No, I just go to Stella.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time
Thank
to
you, Grant.
answer some questions. It's awesome to get to visit you guys and just to see the camaraderie your guys' team has. And,
Yeah, it's a great team.
Yeah. So thanks again for your time and appreciate it. So.
Thank you.